Alright, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good day to all audience. Let me introduce myself. My name is Dhani and I am from Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences, Muhammadiyah University of Yogyakarta. So as we know, right now we are facing a global pandemic. This is a global pandemic called SARS-CoV-19. This coronavirus disease is getting increased by the time and has affected many sectors, such as from the economic sector, the health sector, the employment sector, and many other sectors. And they are creating various social problems. In this slide, in this occasion, I will tell you that social problems is stress. So today, I'm going to be delivered and I'm going to be telling you, I'm going to be explaining about stress management during a pandemic. So without further ado, just jump to the next slide. This is the next slide, the table of contents. So this is what we need to talk about. The first is the definition about stress itself, and then the etiology of stress, and then the effect to our body, and the last, ways or steps for preventing the stress itself. Alright, the definition about stress. According to Mental Health or UK, stress can be defined as the degree to which you feel overwhelmed or unable to cope as a result of pressure that are unmanageable. So in short, I will tell you about the definition about stress. In short, when our body getting infected by some stressor, and then automatically our body will make some, we call it defense mechanism. And when the defense mechanism can control it, we got stress. That's the short definition about stress. All right, next, the etiology. But before we jump to this etiology or the stressor, I will tell you about the pathway or the step where, how the stress can affect our body. The first, when we got infected by some stressor, automatically, as I mentioned before, our body will produce some defense mechanism. There are two pathways of there are two pathways of defense mechanism itself. The first pathway is successful pathway. Successful pathway, it means physiology, and then the last, it will result a homeostasis. And how about the second pathway? Second pathway is unsuccessful pathway, or it is similar with pathophysiology. It will result the stress itself. And then we talk about the stressor. The first stressor is getting retired. I think this problem is related by breadwinner or even the leader of the family, because they are feeling confused how they can collect the money and then how they can give their family a food or something they family need to support their life. That's the first. And then the second is the duration of quarantine too long. If we talk about the quarantine in this pandemic, it will be a obligation in this pandemic, because not only to reduce the spreading of that virus, but also can stop the spreading of that virus. So I think this quarantine it would be more effective if we are obeying what the government give to us. And then the number third is no money and no hanging out. So I think this problem or this stressor is related by the youth people, because I think one of them uh, feeling bored because they can spend their time with their friends. And then the next, online classes or meets. I think this problem related to students, because they are feeling confused to, I think it's really hard to understand what the materials from their lecture or their teacher give to them. And then the last, sedentary life. Sedentary life, it means that our activities fully in our bed. There's no activities uh, outside bed. All right, we talk about the effect of our body. We take a look about the immune system. It will be complex. We know there is an organ called brain. So brain will tell the pituitary gland. There are two types. The first is posterior, and then the last is posterior, and then the last is the anterior. So the posterior will will, will produce some hormone. We call it ACTH, for example, ACTH. So ACTH or adenocorticotrophin will tell the upper kidney or adrenal gland and then will produce cortisol hormone. Then cortisol hormone will transfer to our bloodstream. If this cortisol hormone too much will decrease our immune system. It is really dangerous for us if we cannot control that stress or even we cannot prevent that stress. Right. The next affect our body is sleeping problems. There are two criteria of sleep disorder or problem. The first is dysomnia. What the definition about dysomnia? It means problem of quality, quantity, and sleep time or before you sleep. And then how about parasomnia? Parasomnia is problems when we are sleeping, such as somnambulism, sleep terror, or even nightmare. All right, this is the next. Hormone called adrenaline and noradrenaline raise your blood pressure. It really dangerous to our heart. All right, the next is, all right, you may experience headache, muscle tension, pain, nausea, indication, and dizziness. It's really dangerous for us. So we talk about the ways for preventing the stress or the step of preventing the stress. The first one is healthily. Eat healthily. The second one is be aware of smoking and drinking alcohol. As we know, smoking can constrict our bloodstream, so it would be more dangerous because our heart is have to hard work to pump some blood to our brain, to our food, and etc. And then exercise, we're doing some exercise, and then take time out, and then be mindful. Be mindful. We we can relax our bodies, such as we can hear some muratal or something. We can hear some uh, nature sound. And then the next is get some restful sleep to reduce the stress itself. And then the last, don't be too hard on yourself. All right, I think that's all that I can say. Thank you so much for your nice attention. The last I say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And here's the source. Thank you.